Hey, good evening, gang. Welcome back to another Natred review. I'm Natred, and today we're going to be looking at some tape between Warlord Tanath and Mech Coat. Long time no see. I've been out of the loop for a little bit. Really wasn't feeling the uploading, and then SKBC happened, and went on like a 2-week vacation, and came back and got depressed and had car problems, and now we're going to try to get another video pushed out here. I do want to note that while they are referenced as Sir Tanath here, Tanath on the left here is one of them babies. And on the right we have Mech. Let's check out what we got going on here. I want to point out this was uploaded initially to the Coat YouTube channel. I'm assuming this is Mech Coat here. So Tanath is one of the warlords I had a chance to fight a bit at SKBC, only a couple times in like sparring, I believe. I don't think I ever did more than maybe land a leg shot here. And so like every video, what I'm going to start out trying to do is just looking for trends. So we landed the nice little shoulder, top of the body snipe there. Things I try to look for starting out here. Gear selection. Looks like we have strap round and bat versus punch round and a slightly longer bat. Yeah, maybe just the littlest bit of a dome here for Tanath. Just a little touch over the top is all it takes. I like this look here from Tanath. Having the shield low when you're way outside of range, then having this little stuttering movement coming in, hunches down, then begins coming forward, throws some static out there, first with the weapon to cause some movement, sucks in behind the shield, uses that to barrel into range for the shot. Yeah, it's close. I always want to dig for that shoulder too, but it's so difficult. If the shield's even just a little bit domed, it's so difficult to get that flat wrap in there. It's funny. I had like a 3-second conversation with oh god, I'm forgetting his fucking name. Delos at SKBC. And he's like, I don't understand why you guys, have so much arm movement. You should just keep your hand like in and just throw. And I was like, that's sick. How do you throw your flat wrap though if your elbow's like that? And he gave me this like 5-minute speech about why flat wraps are bad. And then I realized like a week later, I was like, yeah, if you only fight with a dome shield, I feel like you never die from flat wraps, so you probably think they are bad. Maybe they are. I'm no warlord. I just thought it was funny. Yeah, this is a common thing that can happen when you fight punch. You get trapped on the dark side. Like, you can't, if you lose that arm, you cannot transition out fast enough to be combative faster than somebody can crush you. Pick the leg up to the arm. Outside leg. So we tag the knee. That's not cool. I like throwing a shot kind of similar to this when I fight with my punch. It looks like he might have, Coat here, might have messed up a little bit with the setup. This all looks good. Looks like there's a little bit of a fumble because of the shot to the hand, but managed to pick it up. I think ideally you want that shot to be one fluid thing. You can stutter it for, different effects or changing the timing once people are used to your timing on it. Wow, that didn't look super duper intentional. Yeah, I just don't think you're ever going to land a shoulder shot. A shield side shoulder shot on somebody fighting a dome, unless it's very pretty heavily set up. Looks like a Tanath gets caught with their sword down here. You know, this is sick. I like this, you know, this push forward to try to initiate the engagement. Normally, I think you'll see a lot of people, they'll throw a shot to try to initiate engagement. And a lot of times that's too much of a committed movement and you can kind of get in trouble for it. I think just that's kind of neat, just putting that hand out there to initiate movement. I don't think Tanath was ready, though, for how far up over the top this cross was coming. And, you know, that sort of getting stuck low, maybe as a result of that. I'm also curious as to the length of Metcoat's weapon here. Maybe it's just the handle length that's getting me, but it looks a little bit longer than normal. Take a look at a few things. So again, and this is like, look at Mech's. Like we can't see where Tanath's shield is, but this has all the makings of a good flat wrap. Like look at where his hand is. His hand's nice and high. It's probably like nearly to rim or above with Tanath's shield because that little bit of lip there doesn't matter. Almost hit the shot. Yeah, I feel like Tanath is trying to swarm a bit here against a very long, lanky fighter that doesn't mind backing up and throwing. You know, like we will get within a good exchange distance, and then I will back up to cause you to step into me. So as I'm throwing these shots out and extending as you're stepping in, I'm kind of cheating even more range there. And I feel like there's this tendency here to want to bulldoze. Especially with like a slightly domed strap here, like I think you usually feel really comfortable pushing the spacing because you're super safe over the top, at least a lot of the time. So if you drop the sword and just like pick it right back up. You know, and I keep watching Tanath's like shoulder open up here, and it's one of those things where like I know it's exposed when I can look directly at it, right? I know that Tanath knows that it's exposed. This looks like a deliberate movement that keeps happening here that they're doing. And it's one of those things where you start building in like layers of trickery where you maybe think about it too much and just die for being like decision locked. Part of me wants to know though if it's possible to use that bait against Tanath to the point where like I know that you know that you know that I know that I know that I know that you know, but maybe do have an exchange and then reset, and on the way to the reset, throw for that shoulder. Or like right here, like instead of throwing for this shoulder, when it peeks out like this, instead of like throwing for it, faking for it, and then like immediately trying to crank again because you may catch him in the middle of, or may catch them in the middle of resetting to show it off. I would diagnose that to see if it was, you know, operable against Tanath by just throwing static for it. Just so you see what they do by throwing some static at it. There. I gotta admit, when Tanath has the ability to close, I do feel like it's locking Mech into kind of like this decision paralysis here. And any kind of lateral step here from Mech would probably be enough to get him out. But we get stuck going straight back. And I feel like, you know, this is more like, what does Mech actually do here? Casts a sword block, shield, and the whole time we're just kind of galloping backwards. Yeah. It looks like when Mech's willing to exchange while backing up, they're doing really good here against Tanath. But right there, yeah, it looks like Mech even just mentioned there he might have gotten caught in the rhythm up high blocking. So he almost got that wrist. That would have been super sick. Super close. Let's analyze this one a bit closer. Ton of movement from Tanath. Again, trying to be the super mobile fighter, trying to step in and close. I didn't put that on. Okay, good. Like tons of just little pump fakey sword movements, level changes with the shoulders, throwing the hips back, throwing the knees side to side, bringing the head over. And now we're bop into this exchange. Let's look for damage. You know, this is one of those shots that's always super hard to call. I mean, look at where the trajectory of this shot's going, right? You know, if if say they're playing BEL here. I'm not sure if they are, but let's just assume they are. They're playing BEL. You could argue you could say feasibly that this shot didn't have significant force because it looks like it's getting cratered, it's getting stopped a bit by the shield here, then coming through to the body. You could argue this was outside arm. You could argue this was top of body. No one's really going to be able to tell except like the person getting hit and if somebody has a weird 360-degree, you know, view and is able to go back and look at it. It's super hard to tell in these situations, and that's really like one of the weird meta lessons I've learned from watching so much tape is that it can be incredibly hard to call a fight. Ah man, I feel like Tanath threw themselves out of the fight here. I think have it made. You pick the shield, you come over, you throw the cross. I think if you'd just gone back to shield side, there's an easy kill here. But instead, looks like we try to be a little bit too fancy. Lost the arm. Can't quite pick up the trade. Simul? Okay. I can believe that was a simul. I couldn't tell if Tanath's shot came in on this arm here. Good old double leg. Love me a good double leg kill. Let's see how. Let's watch this Warlord level double leg kill. Little tester, and that test right there. Look how heavy Mech sits down on his feet. Tester, boom, big knee flexion, heels off the ground. We are ready to do some twisty motion here. Easy leg shot because of how heavily planted Mech is. Mech throws high, tries to pick up the counter, doesn't quite get it. Gets hit while double knee down. So, talking about trying to identify trends and things we could change here. Us with our third person point of view and our instant replay and shit like that. I'm interested to see now if Tanath will change into any other kind of tempo of fighting rather than trying to aggress. I wonder what would happen if you suddenly flipped, 100% and became a very defensive reserved fighter. Try to get the longer, taller, lankier fighter to be coming into you. And then obviously Tanath has fantastic ability to close and get blocks and while closing on the way in. And that may be something where you can, you know, gear shift into being the more retreaty, more inviting fighter, and then suddenly, once the exchange is going, turn and flip. Because I feel like what might happen is as you flip the script and start trying to be a more defensive fighter, Mech might be a little bit uncomfortable being that forward moving aggressive fighter, and the second the exchange starts, might try to back out, like we see often with him backing out and exchanging. When that happens though, Mech would have already had been coming forwards, and in that transitional period of turning to go back away, trying to rock your momentum back, that might be a moment when Tanath, with their gigantic, amazing thighs here, might be able to charge him down. Yeah. Still being super aggressive. Dropping the shoulders there against the taller, lankier fighter, super sketch. Okay, look, we picked up a post for the arm here. Excellent way to fight off that posted leg. You know, putting the shield down about midway down his height here, or their height here, to really invite that shoulder shot. And it's so fast to shrug that shield up. And the second that the non-legged fighter, mech here, would try to swing high, you got him with that easy block and a following shot either to their body, to that arm, or to that leg, or whatever as it goes by. Really like this here. Not really telegraphing that Tanath is like has any kind of plan to take a big step through here, rocked all the way back, and suddenly we see the momentum shift. Come in, get that shot. All right, Tanath, is this a little bit more defensiveness? Okay, some middling pressure. Some middle pressure. This is a tasty tempo change. This is kind of what I was hoping to see a bit out of Tanath here, as a thing that I think would really help swing the fight into a new direction. Yeah. Now does Tanath try to again maintain that like mid-range exchanging, kind of pressure, or do we jump straight back into charge, charge, charge? See, you can already tell that Tanath, aside from like compared to the last interaction we just watched, already a lot more active, a lot more, you know, you can call this aggressive. Really trying to throw a bunch of fakes, a bunch of movement, trying to get any kind of movement out of Mech over here. Clean pick up on the leg. Okay, I believe. Okay, good. I was like, that didn't hit a shoulder, did it? And kind of looking at Mech here, talking about things that could possibly happen differently. One of the big takeaways I had from SKBC was going to the Punch Shield class with instruction by Nip and Rourke, and really learned a lot of good there. A lot of good ideas for how you can really use a punch shield to its maximum effectiveness. Use it as the tool. You use it for kind of the role the tool is designed for, which is having a very mobile guard. This kind of like high clinched guard that we have here for this shield from Mech here, you're kind of just simulating a strap shield as your neutral guard. You can still, from this position, have plenty of mobility and you can extend and come back to set up all sorts of weird center grip shots. However, your passive, like your idle stance, kind of simulating a strap shield here is not ideal, compared to what I was being taught out of SKBC, where you can really use that shield to really set up an advantage ahead of time or a known strength ahead of time. Let's take a look at something here. Oh, nope, not that. We're already looking at that. Yeah.
Now that I think about it, until today.
Let's watch a little bit of BEL. So stuff like this. This is what I mean by having a choose your strength kind of guard, right? From the moment that you're setting up with your shield, again, now BEL doesn't give him the same look twice. He goes to a simulating strap shield kind of setup. But often when you watch BEL fight, he'll move through these different kinds of guards. See if he'll do it again here. Yeah, not quite as presented, but now if we watch BEL back, we went from that like weird funky guard, the shield way down, to simulating a strap shield, to now, oops, Now, look how much farther out BEL's holding the shield away from him. Little changes, little subtle changes, but these are all things you can do with a strap shield that will have your opponent going, or with a punch shield that will have your opponent going, I don't know what he's doing, he just keeps getting me. I don't know what he's doing, I just can't seem to fucking hit him. It's these little adjustments that you can get away with. So, back to the other video. This video is great, by the way. This whole channel is great, by the way, Cuelix and friends. You should go check it out. Mech, I feel you. I want that shoulder so bad. See, like it's just like the most obvious constant bait. All right, there's my shoulder, just kind of chilling. Oh, hey, there's my shoulder. I'm not gonna dark side you. I'll just kidding. Yeah, and I wonder if there's just some way to double tap, pop, pop for that shoulder, or man, I would just get sucked into the mini game of trying to get that shoulder so often. It's like a dude named Lysander David that I fight quite often, who's much taller than me and fights with a gigantic round shield, and like it is so hard for me to land a flat wrap on him, but because of that, I try to do it all the time because like when I do land it, this kind of high cross is really making the rounds. It's really coming back strong. I call this the anti-torture or anti-torch the torches for amp guard because like it's funny when I first started fighting one of the big meta in Tulsa, like half of it was 36-inch super saucer like sled round shields. So that were domed and they were 36 inches and you could suck like from your knee to your shoulder in behind this dome and you would get into these like endless high cross exchanges and we finally figured out that if you throw like above your head with your elbow or you throw behind your head or you throw like super flat like in front of you but your elbow is always either in line with the top of your head or going above it, you can really kind of win out in any high cross exchange. And I used to think that was just because of the size of the shield, and it kind of is, but it's really because of the dome of the shield also. Okay. Good exchange, good blocks. But again, this is pretty archetypal of the dynamic I think we've seen established here, where the exchange begins, Mech using his range, Tanath charging in, series of exchanges back to back to back, Mech being perfectly fine, backing up exchanges the whole time, and it's this linear movement back. This linear movement back. Beyond saying like which of the fighters this favors, like that kind of linear movement, just kind of pointing out patterns I'm seeing, because once you identify a pattern, you can start fucking with it to mess with your opponent. Says the C plus grade cross gamer. Grains assault people. Big grains. There it is. Ooh, nut. Oh. Oh. Someday I want to land a flat wrap on Dallas and nut. Man, that had to be razor close, right? The flexion got it. I want it. I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do the thing. I like that. Oh, it's the Ferrix. I call this the Ferrix shot because they're the first person I saw do it. Yeah, so you go. I love this thing. So I've stolen it also, and I've named it the greatest and chiefest the greatest and chiefest of calamities. I legitimately did a little video about it. Yeah, so it's so fast. Come on. I really want to show this off to the crowd, but you got to do it slower for me, guy. So, one thing I like about this shot, big nut shot. Because, like, once you decide to do this, you're kind of locked in. So, we go way under the shield. We go up like we're going to dark side. We continue that movement over, though, back to that shield side. So you are throwing under and dark. And you can go over and dark, too. But instead of ending up on their sword side, like that's what makes dark side strong. You're attacking their open sword side. You say, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna hit this guy in the shoulder. I'm gonna hit this guy in the shoulder, but I'm gonna do it by going under my shield and then back over and hitting him in the shoulder. Because fuck you. But you know, you can option to the leg here. I believe when I see Ferrix throw it pretty often, it goes either way. Just like your boy. You gotta spit on a motherfucker like once, right? Sick. And I like priming Mech's Brain Pan with this little, like, low and far away double down pump, and then coming in with that hand nice and high. You guys ever know? Alright, this video's almost over. Alright, I'll finish this video.
Almost there.
What?
Picked up the kill there. Okay.
Late, I was late.
Agreed, late.
That's what trials go. It's like
I almost got it.
Walked him
Good.
down. Man, it was a nasty first to 10. I really don't know who came out at the head on that. I'm assuming because we cut at the end there with a Tanath win, then I might have gone to Tanath. But I'm not sure if you guys are like know anything about like old school games and like glitches and maybe even like speedrunning tricks and shit, but I know in some old games you could like literally change, everything you do in a game is changing the coding, and you can do certain things in the game to manipulate the game coding in ways that are like unintentional, right? Like, oh, if I put Mario at this certain pixel and then press these certain numbers, I'm able to induce this effect that goes beyond like what you just see in presented in the graphics. I feel like that's such a great example. It's what I was trying to talk about whenever we see this flat wrap here. Yeah. Literally, like, in whatever part of the brain is handling, like, what just happened, what is happening right now, what I predict is about to happen, the hippowacus or whatever it is, like, you're manipulating their coding. Not with that. That is sick, though. I guess it's also manipulating the coding. But this, like, you just that little bit of like, yeah, I locked in this coordinate. Arm. Dead. Yeah, that's the video, guys. I hope you liked it. Make sure you check out Coates' channel. I haven't yet. I'm going to subscribe to it because I'm always looking for more footage to look through. Try to upload more regularly. Maybe I have like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 different hobbies that all compete for space. But yeah, that's all I got for you. I've managed to once again turn a 7-minute video into a 30-minute video. So yeah, stay up out there. Life's hard. Depression sucks. We'll make it.